Welcome once again to another episode, your program here, a Friday Night Alive Power Hour with your host here, Soldier of Self-Mastery, Santos Rolon Jr., right out of Stockton, California. My friends, this is your program. Once again, we're here. Why are we here? We're here to grow. We're here to stay motivated. We're here to get inspired, my friends, because I know I need it every single day. And it's good to be able to come to a place where you can actually grow and learn and tap into your inner being, right? Via the grace of the Almighty, we can tap into our inner being. So once again, I want to thank you. It's a privilege. Once again, I want to thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be here in front of you today. And it is 4 p.m. We've just started the program. I've got a few things that I want to share with those of us today, and we're gonna be doing something different Sunday. So hopefully, those of you that come on board tonight will be able to kind of follow me along with what I want to do here to kind of get more involvement with those of you that are coming to these episodes on Fridays and Sundays. I really, obviously, I need your help just as much as you probably need my help. So once again, it's a privilege and an honor to be here in front of you to share on this Friday night, Friday afternoon. 30 minutes is going to go by very quick. I thought I was going to be able to transition into a Google Hangout, but I'm going to talk a little bit about that here. But before I get going, before I even get started, I want to read something to you. And it's typically I read the proverb after I do my house cleaning. Today, I'm going to read my proverb first, okay? And this is a little different. This proverb is from Sumner Redstone. She says, quote, "Great success is built on failure, frustration, even catastrophe." I don't know how much sense that makes to you. It probably doesn't sound very positive, but it is true because I see it. I see the evidence of this not only in my life, but I see the evidence of it in my my digital coaches, the books, the authors of the books that I read, the blogs that I go to online, etc., and even in my own life. When I look at my own life, I can see lots of failure, but I've recognized to accept failure, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking a little bit about failure and the blessing that is tied to failure and making mistakes and not getting things right every single time. So let's get into this. Obviously, my book, the Little Red Book, it's going to go back under construction. So bear with me. I'm working with human beings, and sometimes you put your faith and your trust in other human beings and they kind of let you down a little bit. So that's just life, something that I have to work with, something that I have to deal with. And I'm just gonna flow with it. I am going to flow with it. So for right now, the book is back off the shelf. We're going to be back here on Sunday, but what I want to talk to you about is this. I've been mentioning the fact that we want to do a Google Hangout, a Google Hangout, and I want to be able to transition into a Google Hangout, but the only way that I'm going to be able to transition into a Google Hangout is if I have your commitment, because instead of typing, right, instead of kind of not seeing who you are and where you are, the beautiful part of the world where you may be, I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to know where you're from. And you can chat, not only with me, but you'll be able to chat with others on the platform. That's called a Google Hangout. So I was going to try to do that today, but it doesn't seem like I'm really getting the commitment that I really need from those of you that come to the program. But I am going to be doing the Google Live on Sunday. I'm going to go for it anyways. So those of you that come on Sunday at 4 p.m., it's actually going to be a live Google Hangout. If you want to participate, you make sure that you're in front of a camera. Number one, I would encourage you to be in front of a camera. You can do it with your phone. You could do it on a computer at home. There's going to be a link. As I talk from the Google Hangout, there's going to be a link that you'll be able to click on, and you'll pop up on the screen. When I see that you're coming on, I'll be able to, obviously I'm going to be the moderator. I'll be able to control what's happening. But I truly believe that that's going to be a better beneficial platform for all of us to jump into versus me being here in front of the screen. And boy, life, I'm telling you, life is really phenomenal, my friends. Anyways, I may end up cutting the stream and start all over again here because of some situations that I'm having. I'm going to give it a minute here. Anyways, you know, having family today is such a challenge. We really, my friends, as I read earlier, the proverb, you know, great success is built on failure, frustration, and even catastrophe. I want to send out a shout out to somebody. I don't know if she's watching. I want to send out a shout out to somebody in Wisconsin. I hope that she's doing well. I haven't heard from her. Actually, it's been a while. I haven't heard from her. So I hope that she is doing well. Anyways, I see we've got somebody that joined in. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. I'd love to get a little bit more feedback from you if possible. But you know, I'm going through challenges just like you are. And I really want to talk about something here in this program. I more or less want to motivate and inspire us to keep going forward. Why? Because we should. Why? Because we can. I started out this program a little bit, maybe a little bit challenged, but I'm going to continue through the program. I believe I'm going to continue through the program. We're going to be here for another 25 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Anyways, I want to talk to you about failure. I want to talk to you about mistakes. I want to talk to you about falling down. What happens? What happens to us through failure? What happens to us through when we make mistakes? Number one, I know one thing, we don't like that. People don't like to talk about their failures. People don't like to talk about their mistakes. It's just the way we are. Pride, you know, pride sets in, and we just do not like talking about the mistakes and the failures that we make. Great afternoon to you, Terry Hardy from Illinois. Keep up the great work. Enjoy listening to you. Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that with me today. And it looks like we don't have too many people on the episode yet. Maybe, I don't know. It's Friday. This is kind of unusual. Usually I get quite a few people that join in, but sometimes it may take a little bit. Now, you know, the truth is that if we are going to succeed in life, we are going to have to accept the fact that we will have to fail. Now, it's one thing to fail. It's another thing to fail at the same thing consistently, right? We don't want that. We're not going to learn there. But it is a blessing. I know when I first began to understand challenges and problems and failures and near successes, that's when you think you have success, but it kind of it runs away from you like a cat that doesn't want to be caught. I began to understand that there's a blessing. There is a true blessing in those areas. And the true blessing is found in the fact that when we fail, we should ponder. We should take a look at what's happening. You know, why did I fail? I failed for the second time. Okay, why did I fail? What is it that I need to be doing differently so that I don't commit this error again? Because we know that it's very crippling. It's very devastating. It's very depressing when we fail and we do nothing about it. Our society is conditioned today. In fact, our society is being conditioned even as we speak. I have a board behind me where I created I created a video, and I'm not going to talk about that video, but I talked about radio, I talked about TV, I talked about social media, I talked about friends, coworkers, and even ourselves. If we're not careful, we're all going to head down the wrong path. If we're not careful, if we're not pondering the failures, right? I mean, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I consider myself a very positive failure. See, it's one thing to fail. It's another thing to get up quickly and stay positive and smile and ponder. Okay, why did I do that? What is it that I need to be doing in order to make things better? I'm going to call on you, Terry. I know I'm sharing here, but I want to call on you. Hopefully, you're still there. Is this making any sense to you? I'd love to get some feedback from you. Maybe you have a question for me regarding failure or addiction or some kind of a problem or a challenge. Maybe you're having a challenge, and since it's you and I right now, I'll wait a few seconds here and see if you respond. If not, I'm going to continue on with the program. We're talking about failure. We're talking about success. Thank you. Is there something that you want to share? Is there something that you want to ask? By the way, how is Illinois? I went to boot camp in Illinois, Great Lakes, Illinois. There's a naval base there, boot camp. I went there back in 1985. Cold, yes, getting cold. So, yeah, out here in California, we can still wear tank tops. A little teaser there for you, Terry. Sorry it takes a while to type. Yeah, not a problem. But if I'm going to go on with the program here, if there's something that you want to ask or you want to share, feel free. Again, Sunday, it's going to be a different program. It's going to be a hangout. So I'm going to continue going forward with progress because I want to be able to get more people involved. I want to help. I want to promote more growth is what I want to do. I want to promote more growth. I really want to inspire those of you that come on this program in a different manner. And I want to see your faces. I want to see what your beautiful faces look like. I want to stare into those eyes of yours, those of you that come on board. So, you know, I made a short video, and I talked about a job that I hated. I basically failed at that job. I committed to it for the time that I did, and I was able to complete the task that was in front of me at the time. Things didn't go well, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that period of 7 months. And now in that video, I talked about a life hack that I was doing on myself because I was going through I was kind of like on an emotional roller coaster going up and down. I'd been hired to be a supervisor for this job. I was running a crew of 18 men and women, a couple of different races. And I did a lot of driving. The job was brutal. Now, I was under salary, so I made pretty good money there. But my employees, the team that I had to recruit, of course, I was doing training, I was doing some firing and hiring. They were only getting paid like $11 to $12 an hour. So I was really bothered by that. Again, I didn't last that long at the company. The job became very, very brutal to me because I was the one that was ending up doing the job at the job site because of certain circumstances that were taking place. And I'm telling you, I've learned a lot. And that was about 5 years ago. It was about 5 years ago. So, Laura, thank you for joining the episode. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people are still at work, or people are off the parties, or I don't know what's going on, but I don't see too many people joining today. So I really appreciate those of you that have come on board. Thank you, Laura. I really appreciate that. By the way, um, the book, this is the original book that I put on Amazon. And I have a new book, but I'm taking it off the shelf because we're having to make some corrections. So there are mistakes even in the ones that people have purchased, but I believe it still has great content in it, and it will challenge you. I will say that the book, the life hacks, the exercises will challenge you. So we mustn't be afraid of challenges. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. Oh, you did get the big red book, Terry. Well, that book is going to be, it's actually under construction once again, because again, I pay people to do certain jobs for me, proofreading, editing, formatting, and the book just doesn't. So again, I've been going through it myself and making the corrections, and we're going to have that book revised. So if you like the copy that you got, you can keep it. Obviously, you could probably make ends meet with it. But if you decide that you want the newer copy, which is going to be probably within 1 to 2 weeks, email me. If you haven't subscribed to soldiersofselfmastery.com, you can subscribe and email me, and I'll send you a copy. I'll make sure that you get a copy if you want. So again, time is moving very quickly. We're talking about failure. We're talking about making mistakes. There's a blessing. There is a blessing in making mistakes if we really focus on looking for the educational part of those failures, because we're going to fail every single day. Every single day that we get up, we're going to fail. But the key is, Laura says, I don't party. I never really liked it. Right on. Well, I won't go there with myself. So I've done plenty of it, but I tell you, I don't play around with that stuff anymore. Like they say, if you play, you're going to pay. And there's a lot of people playing, a lot of people. We know a lot of our friends, co-workers, business people, they're out there playing, especially tonight. It's Friday. There's going to be a lot of losses tonight and over this weekend because of mistakes and failures. And for some people, it's going to be not only critical, but it's going to be fatal, sadly, for many people because of choice. So we're talking about failure. We're talking about wanting to become our very best. We're also talking about moving into 2019. We're going into 2019 very quickly here. And how, where do we want to be in 2019? Where do we want to be? Where would you guys like to be? And as I said, I have to evolve. This is the 31st. I started out this program and I was a little bit challenged, but this is the 31st episode of Friday Night Alive Power Hour. So I'm really excited. I've been here 31. Sunday will be episode number 32, but Sunday is going to be a little bit different because it's actually going to be a Google Hangout. And I'm going to be sending an email out to those of you that have subscribed, all of my subscribers. I'm going to send an email out kind of giving some instruction on how the Google Hangout is going to work. It's basically almost the same as what we have here, except you're going to have to enter into that through a link. And that link will be sent to you via email, but it's also going to be on the screen once I go live tomorrow. I'm going to have it in the chat area. So those of you that decide to come on board, you'll be able to click on that link and come into the Google. Need a camera if you want to be seen. Laura says, this is sad but true. Terry says, out of debit somewhat in 2019. Out of debit or out of debt. There we go. Out of debt. Exactly. I'm really encouraged. By the way, I hope that those of you that stick around, just stay until the broadcast. I'm only going to be here maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. But I sincerely want to say, I want to say thank you to those of you that follow my YouTube channel. I appreciate you. I don't just appreciate what you do or who you are. I appreciate you as an individual because you make my day. You make my day. And obviously, if you guys didn't come on the screen, I'd be motivating and inspiring myself anyway. But there would be others that would be inspired or motivated. So, and I say that because I get inspired and motivated by others. What I share with you guys, the life hacks, the books, all of these things that I've done is a product of what others have helped me with. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed to say that I need help every single day. I'm not ashamed to say that I fail every single day. I'm not ashamed to say that I learn from my failures quickly. And the more that you swim in self-improvement, the better and the faster you will be when it comes to this journey called life. You all have the potential of doing something very, very phenomenal, each and every one of you. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how much you failed. You all have the potential of doing something very phenomenal. And that can start today, my friends. That can start today. So when I began to really understand that there was a blessing in failure, I began to look at failure a little bit differently. I've been online for several years, and a lot of the things, I mean, I have a clothing line that I want to establish, that I started making T-shirts, ball caps, and different, even journals with my logo. I started writing a book. I've got another book that I'm going to be sharing pretty soon. It has it surrounds 3 questions. Who are you? Or do you know who you are? Number 2, what is it that you truly want? And number 3, how do you plan to achieve that? It's another book. I've already got the manuscript completed, but I got to find the right people to work with me. So I've been failing. And again, I'm not ashamed to say that. I've been failing in many different ways, but you know what? Here I am. I've been on YouTube for almost 4 or 5 years. I've got over 500, 600 videos. And it doesn't really bother me, because when I read about Thomas Edison, when I read about Abraham Lincoln, when I read about people like Grant Cardone or Tai Lopez or Dean Graziosi, even the president of the United States, of course, a lot of people don't agree with him. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree, but the point is that all of these leaders, they have all failed tremendously, but they've learned to ponder the blessing. You got to find the blessing in failure. For instance, when I was gambling and I told myself that I wasn't going to go back, and then I did go back, and then I told myself again, I'm not going to go back, and I did go back. It was kind of like a seesaw, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down. And the reason why I was like that was because I wasn't really pondering my failure. I wasn't really, and furthermore, I probably wasn't really even ready to begin believing in myself that I could actually overcome that nasty bully, that lie. But, I kept reading and listening to others, and I began to find the blessing in failure. What do you mean, Santos? I don't know. I know we've been going back. Terry Hardy says that it makes sense to her what I'm talking about here. There's a lot of people. Hey, Daniel, greetings. Welcome to episode number 31. Let me go back to the comments here. By the way, I'm letting you guys know that Sunday, tomorrow, is going to be a Google Hangout. So it's not going to be your typical YouTube. I'm mentioning this because I want you guys to realize I'm going to be moving into a Google Hangout so that I can see those of you that are there in the audience, and you can actually speak, and we can actually have a dialogue. I mean, do you guys want that? To be able to have a dialogue, not just with me, but with other people in the audience, and we will all be able to see one another. Is anybody game for that? If you're not game, my friends, that's the way that I'm going to be moving. And I'm going to start Sunday. Sunday, it will be a Google Hangout. So get your cameras ready. And I'm going to be sending out an email Sunday morning probably with a little bit of instruction on what this is all about. I believe probably most of you guys do know what a Google Hangout is. So Daniel from New York City. I know it's getting cold out there. So thank you, Terry. Yeah, I want to do more. I mean, I don't just want to sit here and preach to an audience that I can't see. I mean, I love this. I do enjoy this because I encourage myself, but I think you guys would benefit more if you can see who's on screen and we could dialogue. Guys, are we in agreement? I see one person said, so again, and please realize that, it takes a lot of courage to be here, to listen to an individual that is maybe a little bit further ahead when it comes to a breakthrough in problem gambling. I'm not better. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm just I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I study philosophy. I study the human mind. I study behavior. I study business, and I still fail. But that's okay, because that's just the way it is. You study. You must, if you truly want to become successful, it does take time. Okay, obviously, it takes time. But if you want to become successful and not continue making the same mistakes over and over, you got to look at the fact that there is a blessing. In fact, look at the fact that the last time that you made a severe mistake, okay, yeah, you can be angry at it. You can be angry. But wouldn't it make sense to be a little bit more of this kind of mindset? Okay, you grab a piece of paper, right? You grab a pen. Okay, I failed. I failed miserably. I lost, whatever. Do I want to repeat this again? No. Okay, what is it that I need to do so that I don't repeat this the 5th time or the 6th time? Okay, and you write down some notes, you put them in your journal, and you ponder that. You ponder that. Okay, this is what I'm going to be. So you have a plan. You see, we don't plan to fail. We fail because we don't plan. I'm going to go over 30 minutes here today in this program because seems like most people have gotten a little bit of a late start. And I'll tell you, when I first started the program, the episode, I was a little bit challenged because of some things that have been happening within my own family. Life can be very unfair sometimes. Life can be very challenging, very problematic. Family sometimes, our children, even ourselves, right? Like I said, we make mistakes, but it's one thing to make a mistake and it's another to just forget about it and go on with our lives. You all have the capability of doing something phenomenal. This weekend, it's Friday. What are you going to be doing tomorrow? What are your plans for tomorrow? What are your plans for Sunday? Well, I know part of your plans is to be on that Google Hangout with me on Sunday. It's like going to the gas station and getting some fuel in your tank, right? It's kind of hard to run dry. It's hard to drive a vehicle if it doesn't have any fuel in the tank. It's hard to succeed in life if you don't have any ammunition in your portfolio. It's really difficult to overcome the battle that you're in if you don't have, if you're not sharpening your weapons. Remember I talked about the battle is won here. The battle is, you train for the battle here, and you win or lose the battle here. And whatever happens here spills out, right? It's like water. It's like it comes out. It's like water that comes out of our ears. And it flows into all these other areas, right? Our bank accounts, our children, our spouses, our work, our business, our own attitude. Our own attitude is affected by what we're doing, obvious. That's kind of a given. George Richards, welcome to episode number 31. Thank you for the encouraging words. I truly appreciate you for sharing that with me. By the way, George, where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. I'll wait a little bit here. Quincy. I love Quincy, Laura says. Must be good. Must be good. So, okay, maybe George left the episode. So, my friends, 2019 is coming very rapidly. It's coming very quick upon us. I know people are getting ready to make their New Year's resolutions, right? They're going to wait till January, and then by January 20th, the New Year's resolutions are going to be thrown right under the carpet. Because truth is, I would say 98% of the people that wait for January or for, December, the last day of December to start making New Year's resolutions are probably not going to keep it. But if you begin doing that now, right, you begin look at what, again, we've been talking about making failures and succeeding in life. I mentioned this earlier, and I will continue to mention it. I'm a very positive failure. Some people don't want to talk about failure. No, I don't even want to look at my failures. It hurts. It hurts, and most people, it's pride. It's pride. We don't want to look funny. We don't want to look bad. We don't want people to laugh at us, right? I have a video that's got almost 50,000 views. It's one of my first gambling videos, and probably my first gambling videos. I did a year ago or 2 years ago. I think it's, about 2 years ago. 50,000 views. It should have more. But I noticed that in the comments, I've got some negative comments. And then in the thumbs up area, I've got several hundred. But I've got I think there's 32 or 33 thumbs down. So there's 33 people that don't like that video. I don't know why. It's a great video. It's a very encouraging video. But honestly, people do not like to admit that they have failed. People don't like to talk. People don't, and it's because of our nature. And of course, everything that surrounds us feeds into that nature, right? We want to be protected. We want to hide from people. We don't want to let people know our business. We don't. And some people don't need to know our business. But you see, I classify myself as a leader, transparent leader. I've grown to the point where it doesn't bother me to say what I say online to the world. I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed, because I know that in what I'm sharing, there is possibility. There is great potential. There is positive in all of these things. I didn't know this. I didn't know this before. I hated failure. I remember I went from one job to another job to another job, and I remember some of the supervisors and the leaders would criticize me when it came to that day, the day of accountability. You get pulled into the office. We want to talk to you about your work habits and your performance. That's what it was. It was, we want to talk to you about your performance. Oh man, I would cringe, man. I didn't want to hear it. Well, Santos, you're too slow, or Santos, you're always doing this. They could, every once in a while they throw in a little golden nugget, but most of it was very negative. And I didn't have the mindset that I have today. So little by little, I was just being crushed. Here I am. I'm already crushed with I'm already having problems with gambling. I was already losing all my money and hiding from people and doing all these things. And I'm dealing with all this trauma in my own head that I didn't understand, that had come from my childhood. I was dealing with all of that. I didn't understand any of that. And here I am working jobs and then I'm getting crushed at the job because of failure. Can any of you guys relate? Hi, Joe. Welcome to episode number 31. Glad to have you here. I was expecting another young man from the UK. What is he from the UK? Actually, he's not here. He's not. I don't see his name, or maybe he's here in incognito. But this is life, my friends. And if you're failing, if you have an addiction in your life, okay, I'm gonna be coming down this airplane that's been this 747 luxury airliner, okay, is getting ready to land. But we're gonna get a little bit more personal here. If you're failing, if you have an addiction in your life, whether it be gambling, problematic gambling, either in a casino or on your phone, or on a tablet, whatever, or maybe you're a smoker, maybe you're a drinker, maybe you have some other addiction that nobody really knows about. Eventually, other people will begin to see it. When was the last time that you failed? Did you look at that failure? Did you look at that failure? Did you ponder it? There's a blessing there. Well, Santos, you don't know where I'm at. I don't know where you're at, my friend. I don't know. But addiction's addiction. They're pretty much all the same, right? There's a trigger, there's a temptation. You give in, you mess your life up. Different flavors, different smells, right? That's what addictions are. They're just different flavors, different smells, different places. Some call it cigarette, alcohol. Some call it gambling, gaming. Some call it heroin. Some call it cocaine or whatever else. They're just different smells, different sights. That's the way. I kind of use psychology on myself to help myself with this. It just makes it a little bit more easier to overcome. But my friend, if you don't ponder, if you don't understand that there's a blessing in your failure is trying to teach you something. You know, that addiction is trying to teach you something. But if you don't look at it, if you don't take the time to study, to ponder, to think about yourself, your life, you're not going to benefit from it. It's just gonna bring you down. It's gonna pull you down like the Loch Ness monster in some patch of water someplace. It's just gonna bring you down. And I said this early, you know, each and every one of you guys that come here to this episode, you all have so much potential. And maybe you haven't recognized it yet. Yes, it takes work. It takes time. It takes money. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. I was talking to my mother earlier today. She's 74 years old, and we were talking about the health products that we've been on. I've mentioned this before. I'm on a health product called Ionite. It's liquid minerals, natural liquid minerals. It comes in liquid, and I take my water, my gallon of water, and I put drops in there. And I drink that water. I've been drinking that water for almost 2 years. I'm going on over 2 years now. That product has been a blessing in my life. I notice because I study myself. I pay attention to my own mind and body. And I use my mom as a guinea pig because she's 74 years old. And, you know, people that have 74 years of age, they're not spring chickens, like they say. So today we were talking about education. We were talking about discipline and mindset. And in fact, I'm going to be doing an episode with her because I'm going to be going to Connecticut next month. And she's going to be on screen with me on a Friday night. She's actually going to be on screen with me. So you guys will get a chance to meet my mama. You know, I'm going to share this. I've shared this with some of you guys. My father, who I care for today, he's still alive here with me in California. He stabbed my mother 5 times. He stabbed her 3 times in the chest and 2 times in the back. You know, that's part of the trauma that I went through as a child. I remember that night as if it was yesterday. Now, there's bits and pieces that my mind has kind of blocked out for some reason. But my mom, I mean, I love her. She's 74. So you guys will get to meet her and she'll share some of her wisdom. But she was telling me today, you know, son, that water, that Ionite is really making a difference in my life. Of course, she wears the little energy effects pendant also. So I promote Basic Reset. I have a website. I have a store. I promote those products. They're very reasonably priced. But I tell you, generally, I do not drink water. Generally, I don't drink water unless it has the living minerals in it. And it makes a difference, not only in my body, but your brain. So why am I sharing this? I don't know. It just came out. But we are talking about failure and success. And I truly want to see you guys. I want to see all of you guys that may be problematic gambling get your victory, get your breakthrough this year. You know, don't wait another year. Of course, you got to want it. You got to be hungry. So, my friend, failure is a teacher. Okay? You can learn from your failure if you ponder. Keep a journal. I'm telling you, it works. It works. We don't plan to fail. We fail because we don't plan. And that's really what I wanted to share with you on this episode tonight. So I'm going to go to the comments because we're going to be winding down here. I've been kind of gone overboard a little bit. Skills, everything. I like that. Welcome to episode number 31. I don't know who you are, but if you want to share your name with us, where you're from, I'd love to know that. Above that, Laura says, hey, they are pretty much all the same. You've got a point. Laura might be answering somebody there. I'm not too sure. She says, I hate working with people. Well, you know, Laura, there's some people that you probably could stay away from. And then there's other people that you may not be able to stay away from. You know, as we educate ourselves, as we learn the principles of success, of growth, okay, I don't have it all together. I'm not at the top of the mountain. In fact, most of the time that I come on this program, I'm in the valley. But as we grow together, as we learn, that's one of the reasons why I want to go into a Google Hangout. I believe it's going to benefit all of us in a greater measure. Now, I've got some plans. I've got things that I want to do with my partner. So you guys are all part of this wonderful thing that we've got going on here. I mean, we can really, you know, we can really make a difference in the world. One person, I believe it was Bill Gates that said, the people that are crazy enough to believe they can change the world are the ones that do. Bill Gates said that. So, you know, as we grow and educate ourselves and learn the principles of success, we learn how to become more effective with our own self-talk. We learn how to relabel ourselves. By the way, I posted a video. It's kind of a little bit of a long video, and the title of it is I Hate My Job Transformation Life Hack. I think that's the name of it. I would encourage you to watch that video. It's a very, very motivating video, and it talks about something that I did to help paint a new picture in my mind, since we're talking about education. So as we learn these principles, right? Positive self-talk, relabeling, putting a proper image, getting rid of that addiction image, that little individual that's addicted to whatever it is, that beggarly element, right? He's in the mind. He's there. He's the one that's you, because that image that you have is you. That image displays itself, himself or herself, through your behavior, through your lifestyle. So when you knock that image out and you put in a new image, guess what's going to happen? You've got it, right? Practice hearing, listening better. Not just hearing, but listening. The lost art of listening. Man, that needs to be resurrected. You ever get in front of an individual? Maybe it's me sometimes. You ever get in front of an individual and you're just talking, you're sharing your heart, and you notice that that person is not listening. You may be hearing. Maybe his eyes are wandering, he's just cutting you off, right? You're trying to get your point. You're cutting you off. That person ain't listening. The lost art of listening. What else? Journaling, reading, watching videos, and associating with other people. Now, I'm very grateful and I'm thankful that I've been able, I have help. I have invested. I've lost a lot of money, but I've also invested in myself. And I can tell you the life coaching is something that I want to mention to you. Life coaching, counseling, going to seminars. They have this program. It's called Landmark. I've never been to one. My mother talks to me about the ones that she's been to. Very phenomenal, very moving, very educational, motivational programs where you kind of go for 3 days. They're a little pricey. I know they're more pricier than my coaching is, but these are the things that I've been involved with, and I will continue as I grow in self-improvement, self-empowerment. I want to do more of it. I want to travel. I want to meet with people. I want to touch people. The ability to transfer our faith into one another by touch, by hugging, by smiling. These things are dynamic. My friends, I didn't have any clue, none. I didn't have any idea about all of these wonderful things that we can begin tapping into. And what it does, it takes you away from all these addictions, right? You got to trade. In the little red book, there's a section in here where I talk about trading an old clunker for a new car. You trade, right? You focus on all of these wonderful habits that you can begin building. And the initial decision is probably one of the hardest ones because most people do not believe in themselves, right? That's something that has to be built. Most people do not have courage. They don't have confidence in themselves. They're distraught. They're depressed. Most people, I would say probably a good 95% of the population is in some kind of depression. That's why people are always looking for that pill, right? They've got a pill that'll make you go to sleep. They've got a pill that'll give you hunger. They've got one that'll take the hunger away from you. They've got one that'll make you happy, sad. And most of that stuff is bullshit. Most of those pills are bullshit. What really works is the belief that pill is going to help you. That's what works. Kind of learning that from Dr. Bruce Lipton and Dr. Maxwell Maltz. These are some of my coaches that I listen to, Earl Nightingale, and of course, primarily the Bible. I read the Bible. I need to focus a little bit more on the Bible, and I enjoy prayer. Man, praying to our Creator and reading the scriptures, meditating on the scriptures is my foundation. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I don't go to a church. I don't belong to a religion, but I do focus on the King James Bible and I do focus on prayer and I promote that. I would encourage those of you that if you've done it before, get back to it. If you haven't done it, get yourself a Bible. Start reading little by little. I'm telling you, it's a blessing. All of these things are blessings. So I've been going on and on. I'm going to end here. I want to maybe get a few comments here. George Richards, thank you for sharing that with me. Good teaching. Joe says, hey, Santos. Daniel says, hi, Joe. Good day, Daniel, Joe says. Laura, okay, we've gotten that one. I hate working with people. We can make some changes. We can make some changes. I want to share something else here, too, about success and making more money. I know that all of you want to make more money, right? All of you want to make more money. I mean, who doesn't want to make more money unless you're already rich? And if you are, and you haven't donated to this mission, shame on you. I'm just kidding. But I do encourage financial donations to this mission because it helps keep me going. Right now, like I said, I've mentioned this to you guys. I'm in transition. I'm actually getting ready to take my statewide exam to become a licensed life and accident and health life insurance agent with a company called American Income Life. I've been cramming, I've been studying. So I've had some challenges. I've had some things that happened, but you know what? The test is set November 1st. I'm going to pass that test. I'm going to get my license and I'm going to develop more income to help my mom, to help my family, and to further my mission. You see, I lost a lot of money over the last several years because of gambling. I lost it all, to be honest with you. I'm starting from ground zero. And I haven't worked for about a year because I've been taking care of my father. I've been actually providing care for my father. And I'm truly the only son. So I couldn't leave him hanging. So I've done what I've had to do. And yes, I've been able to make ends meet. You know, I've had some money put away, saved up money. And my dad has been a blessing financially in my life. But you know what? Money doesn't last long. And I'm at a point now where I know I have to do something very quickly. So I made a decision after brainstorming. I made a decision to become an insurance agent. And man, I've learned so much about life insurance and annuities and insurance companies and all of these things that we all need to have life insurance, every one of us. But I've kind of got that department taken care of. I'm grateful for that. So if anything happens to me, my family will be pretty well off. Anyways, Mark Swihart. Mark, hello. Welcome to episode number 31 of Friday Night Alive with your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery. DL says, hi, Santos. Welcome to the episode. I know we're getting ready to finish up the episode. If you didn't get a chance to watch the beginning, again, my friends, I'm going to encourage you to watch. Yeah, I know that it's a discipline. It's a discipline. I watch videos. I watch videos on YouTube, and on my YouTube channel, I've got a library. If you guys want to educate yourselves, if you guys want to excel and make more money and become more disciplined with your mindset, with self-control, you know, how to win friends and how to influence people, I'm telling you, you can go directly to my YouTube channel, subscribe. You can be on these episodes with me. In fact, we're getting ready to do the Google Hangout pretty soon, Sunday. So it's going to be a difference. You can check out my library, my playlist, and there's a lot of videos. I have videos of men, leaders, doctors, and attorneys, and psychiatrists, and that's what's helped me. And I'm telling you, you won't. It's not a waste of your time if you go through. I don't know how many playlists I have. I have a library, and within each one of those libraries, there's many videos, and you can sit there and reprogram yourself. And it's what I've done. I've watched videos for hours, the same videos over and over and over. You know, I told myself, I said, Santos, you know what? There's no backing out, man. You're burning every bridge. You're not going back to the casino. You're not going back to the drugs. You're not going back. You know, you're not going back to that negative attitude. You're going forward. That's it. Your transmission only goes in drive. It doesn't have reverse. And I'll watch videos and I'll read and I'll write, but I do a lot of video watching. Sometimes I'll watch the same video over and over until I get it in my head. Then I'll put it off. So there's people that come to my YouTube videos, they might watch half a video and then they they make mistakes. They fall into their addiction. And I'm not saying that you're just going to quit gambling or your addiction. You know, I mean, let me say this, okay? You can stop doing whatever you want to. It is a decision, okay? You have the potential to do that. Maybe nobody's told you that, but you do have the potential. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be hard? It's doable. So, you know, we can sit here and lie to ourselves and allow others, you know, TV, radio, friends, family, media, our own self. We can sit here and deceive ourselves, or we can get smart and say, hey, wait a minute. If that little Puerto Rican guy on YouTube, you know, with tattoos and thin hair, and if he can do what he's doing, I know I can do. I'm smarter than that guy. I know I can do it. And you got to get that way, my friend. And by the way, I don't think anybody's smarter than me. I'm smarter than myself. I'm smarter than I was this morning. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't compare myself with other people. That's very disastrous, right? Never compare yourself with another person. If you're going to compare yourself with somebody, compare yourself with your future you, okay? The person that you truly want to become. That's who you want to compare yourself to. So, my friends, I want to thank you once again. I truly want to thank you. I see DL, he posted an image like, thank you. Thank you all. Terry, Laura, Mark, DL, Daniel, Joe. Just lost my comments there. Laura, who else? There was another young lady there that, let me make sure I get her at the beginning. Terry, there we go. Hey, if you guys have not subscribed, if you go to the top of the chat, you can see Soldier 8, my website. Subscribe so that you can keep up with what we're doing. You know, I know there are many of you that have great talent that can help push this program even further. If you're really interested in helping other people, you're gonna help yourself. You're gonna help yourself. Okay. Turn your back on that thing that seems to have such a grip on your life. Why am I telling you this? Because you can. You don't have to be a slave to the devil. You don't have to be a slave to the devil's playground, to that puppet, to that. You don't have to be a puppet to the puppet master, the so-called puppet master. You can be free starting from today forward. You can free yourself and you can begin working on your breakthrough. If I can do this, you can do this. My friends, I want to thank each and every one of you. It's been a privilege and an honor to be here once again on this Friday. I hope that you have gotten something out of this. I hope that you have gotten some fuel for your gas tank to keep you going another day, another week, another month. And I will see each and every one of you guys on Sunday at the Google Hangout. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. My friend, if you need some coaching, if you want some help, if you want some personalized coaching to help you achieve that goal faster, to where it is that you want to get faster, bring me on as your coach. Invest in yourself, okay? I'm going to help you get the results that you want. I'm going to help you get the results that you want, my friend. You can always go to my website and check me out. I give you a free 30-minute consultation. See if we're a good fit for one another. The book is not, obviously, my book is off the shelf. It's going to be back on reconstruction. And if you're interested in getting healthier, you want to learn about the water that I drink, let me know. It's a phenomenal product. I'm telling you, it's going to make a difference in your life. It will make a difference. So I will see you guys on Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on a Google Hangout. It's going to be just like this, except we're going to be able to see each and every one of us, our faces, our beautiful faces here on Sunday. So with that said, I'm going to continue, I hope you do, to make every single day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top in spite of and because of. Remember that peace comes through strength. Strength comes through peace. Soldier self-mastery, saluting, over and out.